Hi, I'm Eric Siegel with ericstrains.com. It's January 17th, 2011, and welcome to episode 3 of my video train blog. So after asking your opinion on which color for the trestle you liked best, we went with the one that I liked the best, which was option B, which was this color, which is the Rust-Oleum Rusty Metal Primer with the Rust-Oleum Camouflage Brown on top. So I did it for the whole trestle, and it's looking pretty good now. Now keep in mind, this is not the end of the process. This is only the beginning. I just wanted a nice weathered coat on there to make it look a little more realistic. But after I've finished detailing the bridge and I've put the bridge in place permanently, I will do some more weathering with powders and washes and so forth. So in the end it'll look a little bit different than this, but looking pretty good so far. So at this point I've pretty much got the trestle where I want it. I've put temporary shims up underneath to get it level and to get it exactly where I want it. So the next thing I'm going to do is mark the position of the bridge and then take the bridge out and work on completing all of the scenery behind and underneath the bridge. And then once I'm done, I'll put the bridge back in, secure it in place permanently, and then work on weathering it and putting the handrails and the walkways up on top and all that stuff. Now as you can see over here, I've already started extending the scenery over to the side of the bridge and underneath. This wall here, I've just got it here temporarily, just trying to check out how it looks, because this whole area is going to be kind of an interesting problem. I need to build up all the scenery around and underneath the bridge, but at the same time, I need access to this access panel. This is an access panel that allows me to get inside the tunnel there. There's a couple of switches inside the tunnel, and if there's a derailment or something, I need to be able to get to that panel so that I can do whatever needs to be done. So what I think I'm going to do is when I build up all the scenery around here, I'm going to have this stone wall here and just have it secured in place with maybe some pins or something. And then I can take out the pins, pop off the wall section, and then reach back there and access the tunnel and do whatever needs to be done. I've built this wooden support here to hold up the end of the trestle, and as you can see it's at a funny angle to allow me access to that access panel. And I've got some temporary shims here to hold the trestle up to the right height, but I've got some bridge shoes on order from Scenic Express, so when those come in and when I'm ready for them, I will put those in place of the shims, and then I'll build a little concrete box to hold the end of the trestle, so it should look pretty cool when it's all done. And then of course I'll do the exact same thing over on this end. Up here on the top of the bridge, you can see I've got some pieces of track in place temporarily. Now they're not secured to the bridge yet because obviously I've still got a lot of work left to do on the bridge. But you'll notice there's a bunch of markings on the track, and I wanted to take a minute to explain what those markings are all about. Because this is a custom built steel trestle and because it's a curved trestle to boot, I wanted to make sure that Jim Bowerman over at Stainless Unlimited knew exactly what shape I wanted this bridge to be in. And although I sent him a bunch of drawings, in the end, the best solution I could think of was to actually send him the entire section of track that spans the bridge, and that way he would know exactly what shape I needed. And so then I put all these markings on the track to help him make sure that everything was in the right place. Now on either side you'll see there's a white mark there, and then there's another white mark down here. Those indicate where the bridge ends, because you'll notice that the bridge does not end where this piece of track ends. It ends before the end of the section of track. So those white marks were important so that he would know where the bridge actually ends. Now in between those marks you'll see I've got a couple green marks, a couple red marks, a couple yellow marks, a couple silver marks, and a couple blue marks. Those were guides for assembling the track, because I disassembled this track when I shipped it to him, and so by using these color codes on all the track joints, I could be assured that he would assemble the track back in the correct order. So all he had to do when he got the track was put green to green, red to red, yellow to yellow, silver to silver, and blue to blue. And that way he could be sure he was assembling the track in the correct order, and then be assured that the bridge was the correct shape before he shipped it to me. Now on top you'll notice I've got some pieces of tape. I've got some there, and some there. These were indicators as to where I wanted the support towers to be. So right there you see it says S, and that's a single tower. Right here it says double tower, and there's a double tower underneath there. And then right here, it also says double tower, and there's the second double tower. So by using all of these markings, it made sure that the bridge was in the correct shape and everything was where it needed to be, so that when I finally got it, everything was perfect. Now, in other non-bridge related news, I do have several product reviews that will be coming out in the near future. The first one that I'll put out is on the MTH Premier Line Montana Rail Link ST45 diesel. That is at the hobby shop now waiting for me. I should be bringing it home this week, so as soon as I have it, I will be doing a review on it. Another review that I should be doing in the near future is on the latest ES44 hybrids from Lionel. Now, in the last catalog, they put out 3 new ES44s. They put out the Union Pacific 100th Anniversary Boy Scout ES44. They put out the Kansas City Southern and the BNSF, and I did order all 3. All 3 are at the hobby shop right now waiting for me, so as soon as I bring those home, I will do reviews on those as well. And then finally, the big ticket item that I'm going to be reviewing in the near future is the new Lionel Vision Line Challenger. I ordered one of the Union Pacific coal burning Challengers, and it is at the hobby shop now, and as soon as I bring it home, I will do a detailed review on it. Now, the Challenger is $1,600. It's very expensive, and when I bring it home, it'll actually be the most expensive O-scale engine that I own. But it's January, and in January I typically don't have a lot of money to spend on trains because I'm recovering from all the holiday expenses in December, and there's lots of bills that are due in January every year, so I just don't have a lot of money in January to spend on trains, but I do want to bring the Challenger home. And so in order to raise the money for the Challenger, I'm actually doing something that I've been thinking about doing for a while, which is selling some of my older trains on eBay. Now, if you want to check out my eBay store, you can go to the URL that's popping up right here on the screen right now. Now, depending on when you watch this video, I may have some stuff for sale there, I may not, just depends on when you watch it and when you visit my eBay store. I'm selling quite a few things, probably about a dozen or so different items. Most of the items are Rail King items because those are non-scale 027 trains. When I first got into the hobby, that's what I collected, but I don't run that stuff now. I never run it. It just sits in the box. And so while I'm not selling all of my Rail King stuff, I am selling a good bit of it, a few engines and several freight cars. So if you're into 027, check out the eBay store and see what I have. And I'm also selling some of my MTH Premier Line diesels. I've got some that are just older and they're not as detailed as some of the newer stuff that MTH makes, and so I'm selling that because I never get a chance to run it. It just sits in the box all the time, so I figured I might as well sell it, use that money to get something new, and then let somebody else enjoy those trains. So again, if you check out my eBay store, you can see what I have. I still have several items that I haven't listed yet, so there's a good chance that when you go there, there will be some stuff for sale. And I'm selling them all at very good prices. It's less than you would pay at a train store, mainly because, well, 2 reasons. First, I need the money, and I don't have time to let it sit on eBay for a year. And secondly, the stuff is not brand new mint condition. It has been run before. Most of it is in very good to excellent condition. It runs great, so if your goal is to get something to run in your layout, it'll be perfect for that. It's just not in mint condition, so I can't sell it for mint condition prices. But the prices are very good, so if you're interested, check out my eBay store, and maybe there will be something that will interest you there. Anyway, that's about it for this blog. I am Eric Siegel, and I'll see you next time.